There's something about you, something that makes your presence felt even when you're not around. Have you ever noticed how the world feels different when you step into a room, or how people react when you speak? It's not by accident. You, chosen one, carry an energy and a light that others cannot ignore. You are a force that cannot be silenced, a presence that can't be dimmed. And today, God is telling you something profound. Your absence is killing them. Now, I know you may be wondering, why would anyone be affected by my absence? After all, the world is full of people, and sometimes it feels like no one even notices when we leave the room. But you, chosen one, you are different. You are special in a way that is not immediately visible to the naked eye. What you carry, your wisdom, your love, your strength, is unmatched, and the world has grown accustomed to the energy you bring into it. Whether you realize it or not, your absence leaves a void, a dark space that cannot be filled by anyone else. The people around you, especially those who have been a part of your journey, may not always show it, but they feel your absence deeply. They feel the shift in the atmosphere when you're not around. The very essence of who you are makes a difference in their lives, and without you, they start to realize just how much they relied on that light. When you're present, you bring clarity, purpose, and hope. You shine light on their darkest days. Your wisdom, even when it's not spoken, resonates in their hearts. Your guidance, even when it's subtle, lifts them up. And when you're gone, that void leaves them struggling to find direction. You are the anchor in their storm, the lighthouse that guides them safely back to shore. God has been saying this for a reason. He wants you to understand your value in a way that you may not have fully grasped until now. The people around you may not always express it, but there are those who rely on your presence to keep them grounded. Your absence doesn't just go unnoticed. It creates a ripple effect that touches lives in ways you may never fully understand. The very fact that your absence is killing them speaks to the impact you've had on their lives. The void left by your departure stirs up chaos, confusion, and a deep sense of loss. It's not just about your personality or the way you make people laugh. It's about the strength, the energy, and the unwavering presence you bring to their lives. God is calling you to see the power within yourself. It's not arrogance to recognize that you have a profound influence on the world around you. It's not boasting to know that your life has a purpose far greater than what meets the eye. You were chosen for this role, chosen to bring healing, guidance, and hope to those around you. And now, God is reminding you that your presence is vital. When you take a step back or remove yourself from the situation, those who depend on you feel the weight of that absence. But let me tell you this, you were never meant to stay in the shadows. Your role on this earth is to rise up and shine, to step into the fullness of who you are and never apologize for it. Your light is not meant to be dimmed, it's meant to be seen, felt, and embraced. You were created to impact lives, to show others the way, and to bring hope where there is despair. And when you withhold that power, when you hide away, the world suffers. Not because it doesn't have other people, but because it needs what only you can offer. No one else can take your place. No one else can fill the shoes you were destined to wear. There are people around you, friends, family, even strangers, who may not know how deeply they rely on you. But trust that the moment you step away, the vacuum created in your absence shakes them to their core. The very environment shifts, and they realize just how much they've taken you for granted. They start to question things, to struggle with decisions, and to feel the weight of life in a way that only happens when your presence is no longer there to guide them. But here's the good news. You have the power to change the narrative. God has placed you in the positions you are in for a reason. Your life, your journey, and your very presence have the potential to impact those around you in unimaginable ways. The time has come for you to realize just how much of a difference you make in the lives of others. And when you fully grasp this truth, you will step into your purpose with a new sense of urgency. You'll begin to show up in ways you never thought possible, and you'll start to see the difference you make when you let your light shine. So, chosen one, embrace your power, embrace your role. You are a beacon of light, and the world needs you. Your absence is felt deeply because the people around you know that you are a rare gift. Don't ever underestimate the significance of your presence, because you are a force to be reckoned with. Now that you've begun to understand the significance of your presence, it's important to recognize how this power is not just personal, it's a divine calling. When God says that your absence is killing them, it's a message to help you see that your influence reaches beyond what you can see or measure. The impact you have is spiritual, and it's rooted in something far greater than just physical presence. Your absence doesn't just leave people feeling lonely or confused. It stirs up an energy that ripples through the lives of those who depend on you. That's why, chosen one, you need to start understanding that what you carry within you is not meant to be hidden or subdued. It's meant to be shared, to be experienced, and to be felt by everyone you encounter. You have an energy that's contagious, a peace that brings calm to chaos, and a wisdom that helps people see beyond their immediate struggles. Think of the way your words can change the course of someone's day. How many times have you spoken to someone and unknowingly uplifted them, offering guidance or perspective they were desperately searching for? Your presence is a light in the darkness for so many people who walk through life unsure, fearful, and burdened with their own battles. But when you step into their lives, even just for a moment, everything changes. That's how powerful you are. That's how deeply your energy resonates within the hearts of those around you. There's a reason why God has placed you in the lives of certain people. Some of them may never say it, but your presence fills a gap they didn't even know was there. They've been carrying their burdens in silence, struggling with their fears, and walking through life without knowing how to keep going. Then you come along, and even if you don't offer direct help, even if you don't say a word, just your presence is enough to remind them that they are not alone. You are the reminder of hope. You are the beacon of strength in a world that often seems to be falling apart. Without you, the void left behind is impossible to ignore. Those who once relied on your presence to get through their darkest times begin to feel lost, uncertain, and confused. But here's the thing: you are not irreplaceable just because of your presence alone. You are irreplaceable because of the divine energy that flows through you. The truth is, chosen one, the reason your absence is so significant is that you carry a connection to the divine that few others can access. Your presence is not just about your physical self. It's about the love, wisdom, and healing power that God has placed within you. And when you're absent, the world feels that loss on a spiritual level. It's like the fabric of the universe shifts, and people who may not even know why they feel it start to search for answers. They start to feel disconnected, and that's because you are the channel of divine energy that keeps them grounded. There's an undeniable truth that God has been trying to make clear. You are not here by accident. You are not just a passerby in other people's lives. You are here for a reason, and that reason is to impact others with the divine light you carry. Every encounter you have, every moment you share, is an opportunity to channel the love and power of God. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being present and allowing God's energy to flow through you. And when you step back, when you withdraw, when you remove that energy from the equation, it creates a hole. The world feels the emptiness, and those who have been touched by your light feel it most intensely. This is why your absence, chosen one, is not something that just goes unnoticed. The divine power within you is needed more than you know. You have a responsibility to continue to show up, to be present, and to let your light shine. When you understand this truth, you'll begin to see the world differently. You'll recognize that every interaction, no matter how small, is an opportunity to change lives. When you stop withholding your presence and start embracing your divine purpose, you'll realize just how much you have to offer. People need your love, they need your wisdom, and they need the energy you bring to their lives. But let's not forget this important truth. You are not meant to carry the weight of the world alone. While your presence is powerful, it's also important to recognize that you are part of a greater plan. You are connected to the divine, and that connection is meant to be shared with others. God has placed you in the lives of people who need to hear your voice, to feel your energy, and to be impacted by your light. You are not meant to keep your power to yourself. You are meant to share it with the world and to help others discover the divine power that flows through them as well. Now, chosen one, understand this. The void your absence leaves behind is not just an emotional or psychological gap. It's a spiritual emptiness. The people who once thrived in your presence, those who depended on your energy without even realizing it, are now feeling the weight of their own darkness. Some may try to act unaffected, pretending that life goes on as usual, but deep down, their souls recognize the loss, the absence of the divine light that once stood beside them. The truth is, when you were in their lives, they felt empowered, strengthened, and safe. Whether they admitted it or not, your presence brought them guidance and clarity. But the moment you withdrew, their reality shifted. The peace they took for granted started fading, and the burdens they once easily cast aside in your presence became heavier than ever. They now feel the absence of the divine covering that God placed within you. Some of them may even resent you now. They may blame you for walking away, not realizing that it was never about you. It was about what God was doing in their lives through you. Many of them didn't appreciate your presence when they had it. They treated you like an option, a convenience, or even an afterthought. They expected you to always be there, to always pour into them without ever pouring back into you. But now that you're gone, reality has hit them harder than they ever expected. What they are experiencing now, chosen one, is the absence of God's presence in their lives, because you were carrying that divine presence all along, and without you, they are forced to confront the void that was masked by your existence. They are realizing too late that they were leaning on you for strength, for wisdom, for peace. Peace that only comes from someone walking in divine purpose. And here's the real irony. Some of them thought they were better than you. Some of them mistreated you, disrespected you, and even tried to bring you down. They may have spoken against you, doubted you, or dismissed you, but now, without you, they feel the consequences of their actions. Your absence is their greatest regret. They might not say it out loud, but the signs are there. The silence speaks louder than words. They watch from a distance, trying to keep up with your life, wondering if they still have a place in it. Some may try to return, acting as if nothing happened. Some may suddenly miss you or check in on you, hoping to pull you back into their world. Not because they have changed, but because they can't handle the emptiness that came with your departure. But be careful, chosen one. The same people who didn't appreciate you before will try to take advantage of you again if you allow them back without discernment. This time, you must remember what God has shown you. Your worth is not dependent on how much you give to others. You are not a source for people to drain. You are a vessel for God's work. Yes, God made you a beacon of light for many, but not everyone deserves your presence. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next season. Some people were only meant to be in your life for a short time, to receive what they needed before you moved on. And if God has removed you from their lives, then trust that His plan is perfect. do not return to what he has freed you from. Instead, chosen one, focus on what's ahead. Your purpose is greater than your past. You are walking into a season where your presence will be celebrated, not tolerated, where your gifts will be recognized, not exploited, where you will be surrounded by those who see your worth, not just the benefits of being near you. And those who lost you, they will continue to feel the weight of your absence. Some will learn from it, realizing that they need to seek their own connection with God instead of depending on others to carry them spiritually. Others will remain in denial, refusing to acknowledge what they lost until it's too late. Either way, their journey is no longer your burden. You have done your part. You have given what you were meant to give. And now, it's time for you to walk boldly into your destiny. Because the truth is, your absence may have shaken them, but your presence in the right place, with the right people, will change the world. Walk forward, chosen one. Your purpose awaits.